Hey, Rudy. I'm going to do my best. I've actually made a change, so that when I turn off the countdown timer, it also turns off the banner. I normally wanted to leave the banner up while I did the intro, but out of all of the videos I've done since I made the change to put the member shoutouts thing up, I've never once remembered to turn it off before I go into the gameplay. So as much as I would love to give you all more of a shout out during the intro, I'm just gonna have to turn it off, or else, like you say, I'm just gonna forget it every time. I've been doing live streams for a long time, and my muscle memory doesn't allow me to keep it. But thanks for being here. I appreciate you being here. Welcome, everyone, to today's live stream. Episode number 3 of our Kingdom Come Deliverance gameplay series. I'm Commander Jarval, and I want to thank you for coming along on our journey today. So, nothing new on admin notes. So, on our recap, last week was a big episode for us in that we finally finished up the prologue. We had taken our time going through the prologue so that we could advance some of our skills to a higher level, and so that we could loot a lot of gear in the prologue. And it's pretty safe to loot all of that gear when we were looting it. And that's because of what we want to do today. At the end of last week's episode, we showed us waking up inside a house and talking to Teresa. And we're going to go ahead and jump in here and kind of pick that back up. So let's jump in here at the Rattay Mill, and we'll kind of take stock of where we're at. Okay, so here we are in the Rattay Mill. And you can see down at the bottom, we're hungry. So we're going to eat from the pot here. And that's going to bring our nutrition back up. Now, we did see last time that we have a lot of items in here that we can sell. And we have about 780 groschen right now to our name. We need 3,000, maybe a little bit over 3,000, depending upon what our speech skill looks like. But we need about 3,000 for the thing that we're going to do next. And that means we need to start selling off all of the stuff that we looted here. Okay, now to do that, we have a couple of options, and one of them is outside here. Okay, now as soon as you walk out, you're going to get this notification if you have the Royal Edition like I have. There are 6 DLCs here. And all of them are installed as part of the Royal Edition. We're going to end up doing these at some point or another. But for now, we're going to be skipping most of them. Okay, so out here, I want to look around. And there's Miller Peshek.
My name's Henry. Thank you for taking care of me here.
My name's Peshek, and I'm the miller here. You've already met my niece, Teresa. She took care of you for 2 whole weeks while you were in limbo. And talking of you being at death's door, while you were lying here, you worked up quite a bill with the bloodletter, who came now and again to keep you alive with his potions. That quack doesn't come cheap. I paid him what I could, but I still, that is, you still owe him.
I see. Well, it's better to be in debt than to lie dead in a ditch. What do I owe? I'm not afraid of hard work.
You won't pay for that shoveling manure. I might have a better job for you. And it's not something any fool can do. If you prove to me you're a clever lad, I might trust you with something you could really make money from. What do you say?
Well, what would you need from me?
A trifle. Just to take something from someone and bring it to someone else. And not get caught while you're doing it.
That sounds straightforward enough. Except for not get caught. Why would anyone want to catch me?
Oh, don't worry. It's just a job like any other. Only this one requires, let's say, the right moral disposition. Do corpses bother you?
No honourable man should touch them. That's the executioner's job.
Did you expect I'd give you a hoe and send you out to the fields? You can dig all right, but somewhere else. I want to know whether you're going to hide behind some stupid fucking scruples, or if you might be useful for more unconventional work.
I was prepared for just about anything, but that's a bit much. But go on. Tell me more.
Listen, it's about this ring my mate Woyzeck, the Kohelnitz miller, had his eye on. Trouble is, they buried the ring by the gibbet along with the villain they hung while he was wearing it.
Jesus Christ. You want me to dig up a corpse, take a ring from it, and give it to your friend in Kohelnitz? Is nothing sacred to you?
Money first, morals later. That fellow is dead. He won't miss it. Whatever bleeding heart came up with the idea that it's disrespectful to disturb a corpse never read the Bible. It's still a human body, only it's missing a soul. Why be disgusted by something created by God?
I think I've already heard more than I need to know. You've got the tongue of the devil himself. If you tried hard enough, I bet you could justify sodomy with a goat.
Watch your mouth, boy. There's a shovel here around the mill somewhere. If there's any problem, come and see me. And here's something on the side to make you dig better.
Thanks. I'll need it. I can't believe I've come to this. Digging up corpses.
Oh, and watch out for the executioner and his hounds. They're pretty savage. And I don't just mean the dogs. You can just throw them some meat. The dogs, that is. But the executioner? Well, don't vex him. God be with you.
Okay, so I do need to look at something here. Something's happened with my chat overlay, and it's not going away. And by the way, you got the new icon there, Rudi, so thank you for the 2 months. I appreciate it. So what we picked up, if we look at our quest journal, is we picked up the Good Thief. Okay. So we can deal with this debt one of two ways. We can either pay him Groshen directly, or we can get the Dead Man's Ring for Miller Peshek. We're going to follow the alternate route here. And that means we're going to need to get a spade. And there's a spade around here somewhere. And it's been so long since I did this, I have to remember where it is. I thought it was over here. Yep, there it is. Okay, so I'm going to pick up the spade. Now, a spade is a good thing to have on you no matter what. It weighs a bit, but it's better to have one while you're out and about to be able to dig up locations and not have to fast travel and come back and get one. So I'm going to pick up some of my clothes here. And this is just stuff that I'm gonna pick out of here. I'm not looking for armor or anything like that. I'm just looking to pick up some fairly cheap items. That I can use. And I do need some sort of shirt here. just to put some stuff on so that my conspicuousness goes down. And I'm going to wash here. Okay, and now if we look at our map, you kind of see where we are. We're in the middle of nowhere, so to speak. But all the way up here is Skalitz, Rovna, and Talmberg. Okay, now we eventually want to get here to the town of Marajed. We tried to unlock that a couple of times on our way to Talmberg during the run quest. We weren't successful in doing it. But we're going to make our way up here eventually. But first we need to get some money. And to do that, we need to unlock Miller Peshek. Now, let me explain kind of how the steel mechanic works. We stole all of this stuff that's in this chest almost. But you can see none of it has the red hand icon next to it. The steel mechanic works is when you steal stuff, as long as you transport those items way far away from where you stole them, they lose the steel tag. And that makes sense. This is back in the medieval era. You didn't exactly have the internet to go look up serial numbers on stolen stuff and things like that. So if you took it far enough away and people didn't recognize it, then it would just count as regular stuff. So all of this stuff is not stolen anymore. However, some of it is pretty expensive. And a lot of the vendors don't have enough gold to be able to buy most of this. There is an exception to that, and that are the fences. And Miller Peshek here.
Good health to you.
See, right now, he doesn't have any other options. He's got some speech that we can exhaust. He also has some training for lockpicking, but that's all we can do.
God be with you.
So we need to complete this quest with him to be able to unlock him as a vendor. And then he becomes a fence. And we can sell stolen goods to him once we have completed this. So for now, we need to go over to get the dead man's ring here. And that means that we're going to be heading up this way toward the city. Okay, so this here, Rate is up there. These are the bathhouses. And once we get close here, we'll unlock them as a fast travel point. I'm going to pick up some marigold while I'm here. There's a reason for that. Okay, now the bathhouses offer you a save point. They also offer you a way to get completely cleaned up, and that affects your speech and your charisma. And it also gives you an opportunity to get a buff by spending the night with one of the women from the bathhouse. Very similar to something like in Skyrim, like the well-rested buff and that sort of stuff. Or the lover's embrace buff from that. We're not going to take advantage of that. We don't need to necessarily right now. We're just going to make our way up here toward the house, or toward this quest marker. And do that by following this little path here. And it's going to eventually lead us up here to the top.
Who are you?
And here's the executioner.
What are you doing here?
Okay, he's going to be alerted to our presence. But it doesn't really matter. We're not doing anything here with him right now. You can see that the quest marker is leading us up here. And we have to find the place where this is buried
I'll
up
have to
here.
get something to eat. I'm starting
And
to
that's
get hungry.
right here. So we do want to look around and just make sure that he's not doing anything.
Nothing on the left hand. The right? Oh shit, there's nothing there either. Where the fuck is that ring? Oh, that stench makes me want to puke. Peshek will pay for this.
Okay, so there's no ring there. So now it's leading us back to Miller Peshek's house, and now we're going to introduce the fast travel mechanic. So there are certain markers on this map that you can fast travel to, and we kind of have to select it. You can see not every marker is going to open up fast traveling, and we've got a bunch of markers overlaid here, but if you kind of move around the back and you select the Rattay Mill one, you get a fast travel icon. Okay, now that uses energy and nutrition to be able to do it, and you can get waylaid along the road. Hey, Mixed Life, welcome. I'm gonna try and see if my chat will have sorted itself out. But hey, welcome. Thanks for being here. I had to turn it off for some reason because it wasn't disappearing, but we'll see if it's sorted itself out now.
There was a corpse in the grave, but no ring. What the fuck is going on?
Easy, Hal. Hold your horses. If the ring wasn't on the corpse, the executioner must have taken it before he buried the body.
Oh, I can see where this is going. You want me to get the ring from the executioner?
Clever lad. Only I wouldn't recommend talking to him about it. He's a bit touchy on the subject of robbing the dead. It'd be better to pinch it from his house.
All right, I'll go and find that ring.
It should be in a trunk somewhere in the house. And look here, Henry. Do you know how to get past a lock?
Get past the lock? You mean jemmy it off with a crowbar?
No, you don't. I mean the delicate, gentle art of opening it quietly and with sensitivity, like popping a young maiden's cherry.
We know how to pick a lock, but we are not going to say that we know how. And there's a reason for that.
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to try that yet.
Fucking hell. How did I get landed with a cretin like you? I'll have to teach you then. Come with me. Good luck to you. Try unlocking this trunk.
Okay, and that's because it's going to give us access to this trunk back here. Okay, so we're going to lockpick this trunk. This is an
Hold the
easy lock.
with your right hand and use it to feel out the tumbler. In your left hand, you hold the blade and use it to turn the whole mechanism right moment. It's got it? Good. Now turn the whole lock with the blade, but don't stop holding the tumbler with your head. Otherwise, you'll be fucked and you'll have to start all over. You're a dab hand, Hal. Make something out of you yet. But remember, this trunk's only for practice. With real ones, you have to watch out. Quite a few more times.
Okay, so what he's telling us is that this one here, there's going to be a Savior Schnapps in here, which we'll gladly take. But this chest is going to relock itself. And your lock picks are not going to break. And you can lockpick this chest 10 times. Okay, so as soon as you're done, open it, escape, and it will lock itself. And that was 2. And we're just going to lockpick it 10 times. This is 10 free lockpicks for getting your skill up. And this is just going to level up our lockpicking. So that was 4, I believe. I think that's 5. We'll see how well I remembered my count here. Six. Be 7. And again, you don't really have to worry about where the locks are positioned, whether they're around the outside or around the inside, because you can't break your lockpicks here. Oops. I think that might be 8. Is that 9 or is that 10? So that was all 10. Okay. So that got us some free lockpick XP there. So we have a speech stat or speech skill that we can upgrade here. So final offer is the haggling skill. We saw how much the head icon fills up. The worse you are at haggling, or the farther off you are away from his initial bid, the more that is going to fill up and the less chances you have to be able to haggle and get something right. Final offer gives you one last chance when he loses his patience. Instead of losing reputation and kicking you out of the menu, this gives you one more chance. I don't think it's all that useful, to be honest. The other two that are open are Highborn and Lowborn. This gives you a +3 to your speech stat when you talk with either commoners or nobles and wealthy people. The commoners have a lower speech skill anyway in comparison to you. So it's easier to convince them using the speech options than it is with Highborn. Now, there is a specific speech check coming up here, which if you haven't leveled up anything on speech right now, you may want to take Lowborn, but I'm going to take Highborn here. It's normally harder to convince them than it is commoners. Strength, we're still going to keep. We're gonna wait for a couple others, and then for skills, we have 2 skills in stealth here. So, Crouching Chameleon is a 30% stealth bonus. There is no reason not to get this. It is very, very good, and you'll want to pick it up as soon as you can. Daring Debonair, you get a +1 bonus on strength and vitality until you're caught after you've committed a crime. This can make it easier to run away from guards, catch poles, and things like that, or to knock people out. If you are stealing stuff, you commit a crime, you get a +1 bonus to strength, and you can knock people out and loot them. So Daring Debonair is useful. In rain, you move almost silently. Your footsteps are reduced by 70%. I find this to be not very useful. The one place it is useful is when you're trying to take out bandit camps. Now, we are going to be doing that, just not anytime soon. But this allows you to get into a bandit camp at night while it's raining, and in combination with the next one we're going to look at, kill people almost silently. The next one is Stealth Kill, and this allows you to kill from stealth. So instead of just knocking people out, you can kill them. And again, for clearing bandit camps and enemies and that sort of stuff, this is incredibly useful. It is a sneak attack kill, basically. You have to have a dagger in your inventory, and you can't equip it for this skill to work. So we're going to go ahead and take stealth skill as well. Okay, and now our lockpicking is up to 7. There isn't a whole lot that we're going to need until we get into luck. Like I said, luck of the drunk is going to be the next one that we take. But for now, we're going to hold on to that strength stat. For main level here, we've looked at this a little bit. I'm going to hold on to that point. Wanderer is okay, I will say. But we're going to just tend to sleep in beds for the most part, instead of sleeping at campsites or in straw or something like that. But it can be very useful if you're trying to walk around to a certain area a long way away if you don't have a horse or something like that. Scout is the way that we're probably going to end up going with this eventually. So Insomniac is also pretty good. I'm wondering if I should just take Scout now. Yeah, I think I'm actually going to take it because we are going to fast travel here coming up, and I'll take the 10% bonus chance to evade the encounter. So now we need to go back and talk to the Executioner again. Or talk to the Executioner, period. We didn't do that the first time. So let's do 2 things. One, let's pick up some food. Because I think I have some food in here that isn't spoiling. Yeah. So let's eat some of this, and we'll watch our nourishment down here. So now we're up to 51, 55. That's good enough. So we'll put that back. Put the marigold away. Put the spirits away. Okay, now let's go back and deal with the Executioner again. We want to do this before the sun goes down. So we'll run back up here and we'll talk to the Executioner. And like I say, this is the one thing early on that you may, if you haven't focused on skill, then you probably want to take the Highborn perk, or the Lowborn perk in speech. But you should be able to pass this. Again, we'll take a right up here by the house and head back up this path. Now, depending upon the time of day, when you got up here, the Executioner may be around the gallows. And that's what Miller Peshek was talking about with giving the hounds meat. You can take some meat out of whatever food that you've looted, and it can be spoiled if you want, and you can throw it on the ground and the hounds will be distracted by it. We don't need that to happen. We just have to find the Executioner now. Let's go look around here. He's normally not all that difficult to find. And then watch this be the one time when I don't find him at all. I hope it's not too late. I don't think it is. And it is much harder to see when the sun starts going down. Okay, I didn't check this other room over here. I thought this other room was locked, though. Oh, no, it's not. Okay, so he's asleep. So... let's see if I can bring him out here.
What was that?
Here we go. Okay, so I'm going to try the speech option here.
Miller Peshek sent me. He's very sorry, but by mistake he didn't give you the full weight of flour last time. He says you should come and get the balance.
That rogue. How much is it?
Half a sack. That's nothing to sneeze at.
It certainly isn't. I'll go there right away.
Okay, so he's going to take off.
Ugh.
Okay, now we're going to go in here after him. And we have a locked chest here that we can pick. Okay, we're going to get Piercer out of this, and actually this isn't the chest that we need. I think it's this one. And there's the dead man's ring and some more savior schnapps.
What? This is nothing but an ordinary copper band. It's not worth a 10 penny.
Okay, now while we're in here, can just get some more lockpicking XP. I think that's it. We'll eat from the pot while we're here. Okay, and now we can head back. Now, I am not going to fast travel here, and that's because it's nighttime. At nighttime, when you fast travel, you are far more likely to get waylaid by bandits. So, I'm going to just make my own way back. To Miller Peshek's place. This is not the fast travel that I was talking about that we're going to have. Okay, and you should recognize where we are. These are the baths again. It's not that far to get back to Miller Peshek's place, so. We're going to go to this place too. This is the tannery. As there are vendors there that you can sell stuff to. But first, Miller Peshek sitting outside here.
Anyone, and I don't give short measure.
I'll kick that fucker's ass.
I have that ring for you.
Good. Nice to know you're the sort of lad I can trust with a job like that. Now run with the ring to Woyzeck, the miller in Kohelnitz. He'll have some work for you, and I'll have something for you soon too. A clever fellow like you will never want for work. At the very least, I'll buy risky goods from you. I mean the kind that used to belong to someone else and you can't sell to just anyone.
You'll buy stolen goods from me. Oh, thanks for your trust. I'm sure that'll come in useful.
So now you can unlock him to be able to sell stolen goods. And it's not just stolen goods. He'll buy regular goods as well. But now you have an option to be able to sell to him. I'm going to exhaust some speech options here. And we also have another opportunity to learn how to pickpocket. We're going to do that in the morning.
Can you tell me something about the other millers?
There's a couple of other fellows around here in my trade. Woyzeck in Kohelnitz and Simon in Sassa.
Tell me about Woyzeck.
He's young and hot-blooded with a short temper. But he's a fine fellow when you get to know him. His heart's in the right place, and he's always willing to lend a helping hand. Unfortunately, he got himself into a feud with that usurer, the merchant Wolfram Pruder. A slimy bastard he is. And now they're sworn enemies.
What about this Simon in Sasau?
An odd one he is, a loner who don't talk much. But he's as dogged as a hunting hound once he gets his teeth into anything. He won't let go until he sees it through, even if he has to walk over dead bodies.
So the Millers in this game seem to be like some sort of Five Families Mafia thing. They are the criminal underworld here in the game, so to speak. And we're going to learn more about that as we go.
Tell me something about yourself.
There's nothing much to tell. I was born at the mill, I live here, and I'll surely die here. But before I do, I've plenty of work to do, and I hope I live to see peace in this land again.
Can you tell me...
What about the Skalitz folk?
God sent them to punish us for our sins. They don't work, they just idle around begging. And you want to keep a close eye on your belongings when they're around. I'll be glad to see the back of them.
What do you think about everything that's happened?
I don't concern myself with the doings of my betters. But this mess isn't good for business. Them two brothers should sort things out between themselves without dragging us into it. I don't give a damn who's king, but that usurper from Hungary has gone too far.
Do you know anything about those Cumans?
The heathen scum that Sigismund brought here. Why do you even ask? You've seen with your own two eyes what they're capable of.
That's all.
Okay, now we do have some stolen goods that we
I've
want
got
to
some
sell.
goods here whose owners might miss them.
All right, let's see what we can do about that.
Okay, so we're going to go to sell, and he's got 1,000 gold. That's a lot of gold. Now, it's not enough for us to get up to the 3,000 that we want, but we want to exhaust his gold. Now, there's a couple of things to do here. There is the standard way of selling things, which we're going to do here. There's another way to get gold from Miller Peshek. And it's cheesy. It's very cheesy. But it is something that's coded into the game. But for now, we're just going to sell off what we have here. And I'm going to watch the you get number up here. I don't think I'm going to be anywhere near the 1K for what we stole here, but... Okay. And you picked up Piercer from the Executioner. So this is a stabbing longsword. This has one of the higher stab damages in the game. So it's a very particular type of longsword. It's best used when you have a shield to use with it. But it is a pretty good early game longsword. Stabbing is kind of OP in this game, and this is one of the better ones at it early on in the game. We're not going to sell it yet. So we're going to get somewhere around 174 out of this. So let's go ahead and haggle.
Let's talk about the price.
Why not?
And again, I normally go somewhere around halfway.
Is this enough?
That's better. Drop it a bit more and we'll call it a deal. All right, so.
Okay, now let's go, before we go to bed, we want to exhaust his gold. So I'm going to go pick up a bunch of items here. And we'll see what we can sell here. Okay.
I've got some goods here whose owners might miss.
All right. Take care.
So let's see here. So okay, so that's it. So we're gonna get 390 out of that.
Let's have a word about the price.
Naturally.
And you see, we're getting a fraction of what this is
What do you
worth.
say to this?
Close. Drop the price a bit more and we'll shake on it. Aye. For that amount, I can be persuaded.
Okay, so probably one more round here of selling and we'll be good. And you notice I'm picking things that have high value but are not the highest values that I have. I'm going to keep one of those. And let's see if this will get him close to running out.
I've got some goods here who...
All right. Take care.
So he's got 385. Okay, so I don't have anything else.
Let's talk about the price.
Aye.
Well, let's see where we can get him to.
Agree?
Close. Drop the price a bit more and we'll shake on it. Aye. For that amount, I can be persuaded.
Okay, so he's pretty close to being done. Okay, now he's probably gonna go inside for the night and go to sleep, is my guess. What time is it? So it's 10 o'clock. He might still have a little bit left. Yeah, see, I think he's going inside now. I can't talk to him anymore. Oh no, I can get him one more time here.
I've got some goods here whose own...
All right. Good luck then.
So let's see, he's got 110 left. That should be good.
Let's have a word about the price.
Sure.
What do you say to the...
A nice sum. All right, so.
Alright, so that should be good. So now what we want to do is wait for him to go to sleep. Because we don't want him wandering around. Okay, and let's just check. Okay, Mutt, get out of the way. Okay, so he's asleep. We're going to go to sleep here in a little bit. But over here, you have a very hard lockpick, and I don't know if I have the skills to be able to pick it or not. Okay, I can't. Inside of here is a chest. And that chest is everything that's in his inventory. Once you have access to this chest, and this is why I've been leveling up lockpicking every chance that I get. Once you have access to this chest, you can go in here and deposit all of your high value items in that chest. You just put them in there. Then you wait 2 or 3 days, and when you come back and you check this chest again, all of those items will have gone, but it will be replaced by their actual value in groschen. So, for instance, one of the brigandines I have is worth 1.6k gold, or groschen. If I put that brigandine in there, and then I come back 3 days later, there's going to be 1.6k gold in there, and I can just steal it from the chest. That's a way to get 100% of the value of your items back from Miller Peshek, is by getting access to this door and getting access to the chest inside that place by picking it and then depositing items in there. Now, we obviously don't have access to that yet, so I am going to be taking every opportunity I can get to up my lockpicking skill to get access to it. But for now, we've got 1k groschen. We exhausted all of his gold. And we have another 781 in there. So we're a little more than halfway to what we need. Okay, so I'm going to move all of my groschen in there, and I'm going to go to sleep. I'm going to sleep and save. And I'm going to do this, and I'm going to wake up here in the morning. And I'm going to continue on with the quest line here. Okay, what's my nutrition, or my nourishment? 66, so I'm plenty good. I'm going to take a couple of things with me. So I'm going to take this brigandine. I don't want to take the noble saddle. I'm going to take the quartered combat jacket. The bailiff's mace. And some other things here. With me as I go up here. Now, if I look at Miller Peshek's inventory again.
I've got some goods here whose owners might miss them.
All right.
You can see his wealth is not replenished. There isn't really a way that it's somewhere in the 2 to 3 day range that they will replenish their gold. Now we can go over here. And some of these things may still have their stolen tag and some of them won't. Okay, like I say, depending upon where we picked them up from, some of the things we might not be far enough away from where we stole them, especially at Talmberg.
What do you want from me?
So I'm just going to exhaust
What
these
kind of
for the
So how
speech checks.
what's life like?
We got
How do the rat?
well,
Have you heard?
I don't know.
Then we'll look at trading. Okay, so she can buy some of these items here, but again, her wealth is only 200. Now, this is weird. I don't know. I don't think she's going to be able to buy that because it's stolen. It's weird that it's showing me the option to even put it in there. And she doesn't have enough to buy the brigandine.
Let's talk about the.
Naturally.
Is this enough?
Close. Forget it.
Ah. Shouldn't have tried it.
Okay.
I'd like to.
I
Is this enough?
that sounds all right, sir.
Okay. So now let's take a look at our map. And you can see that we need to head over here to take the ring to the miller in Kohelnitz. And that means that we need to go east, northeast on the side of the river, and kind of follow the river around. Now, I'm going to walk there because, again, I don't have a horse yet. I could go steal a horse. Absolutely nothing wrong with me going to steal a horse. But I just choose not to during this part of it. It's not that far away. You're going to find out pretty quickly that walking / running to wherever you want to go is a very viable method of transportation. It doesn't normally take very long to get even to some of the farthest distances away, but there is the opportunity for you to get waylaid sometimes. So you have to kind of be a little bit careful and kind of look ahead of you, because you can't avoid encounters if you see them in advance and go off-road around them. But this one won't be that bad. He's just up there around the corner, so it's not that far. And I'm kind of keeping a lookout along the side. I don't think that we're going to need I'm just looking out for any marigold that I see. This isn't really the place to go searching for it a whole lot, but you can find it out here. Come on, give me, there we go. And that picked all of it. And there's a reason for this. Nettles are really easy, we can find them anywhere. Marigold is pretty easy to find. I'm also going to be keeping an eye out for dandelion. It's a little bit harder to find just because it blends in a little bit, but it's very plentiful. Once you get into a spot with it, you'll see it everywhere. It's just hard to kind of see it when you're running around somewhere. But dandelion, marigold, and nettles are the three things that I want to keep an eye out for. I've got plenty of nettles and I can find them anywhere, so I'm not stopping to pick them up. That is going to be our main way to make money in this game, is with the alchemy skill. It is by far the quickest way to make money. Okay, so we're getting pretty close here. He's just up here in these houses. And now we just have to find him. We can, if there's anybody to talk, like I say, talk to them, exhaust the speech options.
God be with you.
Miller Peshek from Ratai sent me with this ring for you.
A ring?
Here it is.
Useless fucking bauble. You must be Henry, right? Peshek told me about you.
What the... Why did you throw it away? Do you know how much trouble I had to get it? Peshek said it was important to you.
Like I said, it's a piece of junk. It was just a test to see if you've got the balls to work for the miller. It's a custom of ours, testing fledglings in the trade with a nice little wild goose chase. We need to see if you'll be hobbled by pointless principles, or if you're willing to use your head. Congratulations. You passed the test, and now we'll have a few jobs for you.
And that is going to unlock quest options with the different millers. Okay, and that's going to be under can I help with anything. For now, we're going to sell our stolen goods here.
What am I to do with these things I pilfer? No one will buy stock.
Buying and selling stolen goods, not that I'd buy them from you.
So if someone loses something and I happen to...
That's the arrangement.
So
got some
let's
goods
see
here
if we
whose
can
owners-
sell off what we
right.
have.
Farewell.
And he also has 1k gold. Okay, so now we're going to sell off whatever we can here, and that's 856, so we'll see if we can haggle that up a little bit.
Let's talk about the price.
Why not?
Since it's you,
Away. Aye, that would do it.
Okay, so now we are up another 1k, so we're getting really close now to the 3,000 we need. We got 1,000 off Peshek, we got 1,000 here, and we came in with like 780 or so. We picked up another 100 from the tanner, So let's go ahead and... Yeah, he's not going to be able to buy the bailiff's mace. It's worth too much. Okay. So now looking at our quest log, all we have is the 2 main quests here. Okay. We're not going to do either one of those at this point. What we can do is talk to Miller Woyzeck here.
Do you need help with anything?
Just in time. There is a certain matter I need resolving. I have some scores to settle with the commander of the Talmberg Guard, and I want to get my own back. You may have heard that Sir Robard of Talmberg is a stickler for having all his gear neat and tidy.
The commander of the guard? Sir Robard? I'm already confused. Just tell me what I need to do.
It's like this. I want you to break into the Talmberg armory and steal a few waffen rocks with the coat of arms on them.
Ah, and once Sir Robard finds some of his guardsmen's equipment is missing...
He'll see to the commander of the guard, who's the only one with keys and answerable for their safekeeping. When Robard finds out he's losing things from under his nose, he'll have him whipped. And I'll get what I'm after. Satisfaction. Take at least 5 waffen rocks to make it a proper stink.
Consider it done. What am I to do with the waffen rocks once I have them?
I'll burn them to get rid of the evidence. Just make sure you don't get caught.
Now these quests are going to be random for which ones you get. I was actually hoping I was going to get this one because we can do it while we're
Good luck to you.
handling some of the other things that we need to do. Okay, but what we're going to do now is head back to the mill here, and I don't think we're going to get waylaid on this little... Oh, we did. So our chance to run away is only 35%. And I failed. So we're in combat. And we died. Yeah, we are definitely going to get killed here. There's nothing that we can do to avoid this. Whoops. So I didn't expect to get waylaid there. It was too short of a trip. So let's see where our last save was. Okay, so it was right after. I think it was right after talking to Miller Woyzeck. Yeah, it was. So, wasn't a big deal that it happened. We'll go out here and try and fast travel again. Okay, so what we want to do is take stock of our groschen here. So we're at 2.7k, so we are almost there. So what I'm going to do now is take nettles. 100 or so, we're fine. The 38 marigold. Okay, and I'm going to go pick up some stuff here while I'm out and about. If I can drop the bailiff's mace back off. Okay, because we're going to go in and make some money here. So we're going to make our way into Rattay. Okay, and I'm going to walk over there because there's an encounter that you're going to run into at the gate. I'm also going to keep my eye out for any more dandelion out and about here on my way in. Like I say, dandelion is pretty plentiful once you find it. And remember, because of the leg day perk, we're getting strength XP for every time we bend down to pick these up. We're just going to pick up a little bit here. And again, flower picking simulator, I know. But this is a very useful way to get money. Now, dandelion is not one that we're going to start off by doing. But I'll explain more of this once we get into the alchemy table inside Rattay. How many did we pick up? 161. More than enough. And we've got 100 nettles. Yeah. And 61 marigold. So there's a little marigold out here that we'll pick up. And again, these are the ones that we're going to focus on crafting here are ones that, one, are easy for us to craft, but two, have common ingredients. There are more expensive potions that we can brew than what we're going to be brewing, but one, they require ingredients that are a lot harder to find, and you may have to actually just purchase them yourself. And two, the method, the steps that we need to craft them are a lot more. So from a time perspective, it's not worth it. You can craft more of the cheaper potions to sell for less than you can by spending a lot more time collecting ingredients and crafting the more expensive potions. So when we get up to Rattay here, we're going to have conversation check.
Halt! Who are you and where are you going?
I'm Henry, son of the Skalitz blacksmith. I'm going to see my liege, Sir Radzig Kabila of Dvoyitz.
Of course you are, lad, and I'm the Pope. What do you want from his lordship, and what makes you think he'll see you?
Okay, we're going to use the speech option.
I may not look the part, but I know about honor and duty. And mine is to tell Sir Radzig what happened to the sword he commissioned.
All right then, go ahead. It'll be your skin if Sir Radzig isn't pleased.
Okay, and this is going to unlock the access to Rattay. Now, there's some quests down here and some quest givers you can pick up. We're going to be skipping all of that for now.
Good people.
And we're going to go around the corner up here. Now, the alchemist is here. Okay, and you can buy ingredients and sell potions to him. And the alchemy station is right in here. Now, normally people think that you have to be able to read to do alchemy. That is not true. Some other people think that you have to have a recipe to craft certain things. Again, that is not true. You can craft utilizing the steps that are in the book without having to be able to read the book. Now, there are 3 different levels of what you can craft here. If you do something, if you do or use the correct ingredients, you're always going to get 1 potion out of it. If you use the correct ingredients and you boil things or crush things when you're supposed to, but you make a mistake here and there, you're going to get 2 out of it. And if you do the recipe perfectly, then you're going to get 3 out of it. Okay, so if we look at my inventory, I have I have only Savior Schnapps on me right now. Okay, we're going to craft a marigold decoction. That's your healing potion. Okay, now the book has a whole bunch of steps in it. All right, and the first thing that you do, and the book here, we can't read it. Okay, so if you click read and you look at it, it doesn't make any sense. Now, this is the Savior Schnapp recipe. Okay, it's the only recipe that we have available in the book, but since we can't read, we don't know what it is. But it needs nettle and belladonna, and you put it in wine to be able to craft it. We don't have any belladonna yet. We're going to go get some here in a little bit. But reading, we don't need it for any of this. Now, I'm going to teach you what the forums call master brews. These are shortcutted brewing methods to get you 3 of a particular potion without having to do all of the steps necessary to do it. And the first one that we're going to start with is going to be the marigold decoction. This is by far the easiest and fastest one to craft, right? So the first thing that we need to do is put nettle, we need to put nettle and marigold on the shelf. You do that by opening your inventory and selecting them, and they'll go up here. You can put up to 3 things on this shelf, which is nice because if you're crafting marigold decoctions and aqua vitalis, then all you need is marigold, dandelion, and nettle. And you can keep all 3 of them up here and just craft until you run out of stuff. Okay. So now you can see that we have 4 different bases to start with. Okay, water, wine, oil, and spirits. For the marigold decoction, we're going to start with water. Okay, and then you need to start adding things to the cauldron or adding them to a mortar and pestle and crushing them up and then adding them to the cauldron. You also have a bellows that you can operate here, which will cause the fire under the cauldron to light up and boil the stuff in here. And then you can take files and directly pour them out of the cauldron, or you can take a file and go to the still and pump the bellows a couple of times, and it will distill liquids from the cauldron through the still into the file and make a potion. Okay, we're going to skip all of that. We're just going to take 1 nettle. We're going to put it in the cauldron. We're going to take 2 marigold. Put it in the cauldron. We're going to immediately, without doing anything, take a file and pour this potion off. Okay, now it's going to say that we discovered a new recipe and we've brewed a marigold decoction. And now, if I go to my inventory, we have 2 of those. That's letting me know that I have made a mistake. I didn't get a full 3 out of it. I've made a mistake, and that put me down to the 2 level of doing it. But it was so fast, I don't care. You can make so many of these in a short amount of time that it doesn't really matter if you make mistakes. And then as you level up your alchemy skills, you can see that almost got us to level 1. You're going to see what's going to happen. So we're going to do this again. So we're going to put water in. One nettle. 2 marigold. 1. 2. Take the file and pour it off. And that's going to level up our alchemy. Okay, so now we're going to back out. Look at our alchemy perks here. Okay, so we don't have enough to get any perks in it yet at level 1. However, looking through these, there are some pretty important ones to look at. And the first one is trial and error. This is at max level 5. When brewing, you can make 1 extra mistake without affecting the result. We're making 1 mistake here. That's why we're getting down to 2 instead of 3. As soon as you get this up to level 5, you can take trial and error, and you will be getting 3 every single time out of this. Now, it takes about 30 seconds to do that animation in there, and there's a way to go about shortening that up, and that's with the routine perk. So at level 10, you can auto brew potions that you've already brewed and already have the recipe for, but you only get 1 at a time. Okay, but that is significantly faster. You can go to the book, you can just auto brew, and level up really, really fast. Once you get it leveled up to 10, or once you have leveled up the normal way up to here, take that, and that's going to fast track your alchemy increasing. Because then at level 13, which isn't that far away above it, routine 2 becomes available, and then you'll produce 3 potions instead of just 1 when you auto brew. And then it's just free. At that point, that's as far as you need to go with it, because then with these ingredients being so readily available, it becomes incredibly easy to auto brew potions and sell them for massive amounts of gold. Okay. So that's kind of an introduction to alchemy. Now we want to do something else here with alchemy, and that's that if in our inventory we look, we've only got 3 savior schnapps. You never want to buy savior schnapps. You should have enough here to make it through the prologue. We want to be able to craft those. Okay. Now to craft savior schnapps, you need nettle. Might as well pick a couple more while we're standing here looking at them. And you need something, and you need belladonna. Now, where do we find belladonna? Well, belladonna is actually really easy to find. It's right up here in this field. There's also another field that has a whole bunch of marigold right in here, I believe. So we need to go out the east side of Rattay. So let's just head through the town. We're going to ignore everybody else. Because before we go up to get our horse, we want to have savior schnapps, because we want to drop a save before we fast travel, because there's a pretty high chance that we're going to get intercepted while we do this, or during that fast travel. And we want to have a save so that we can just reload it, because if we get caught while we're on the ground, we're more than likely going to die. So we're just going to head out the back here. And we're going to start looking for that marigold field. I need to remember where it is too. I think it's down below me. I don't think it's up here. Yeah, we're going to keep going out this way, and we'll see it here pretty quick. And this is just going to be on the way to the location. Yeah, we're going to go right over here. Okay, this long field, the northeast corner of it. And this is just going to be something that we can pick up along the way to going over to where we're going to get the belladonna at. Okay, so here's this field right here. There's a whole bunch more dandelion out here. Dandelion is used later for the aqua vitalis potion, which is the one that you want to be brewing to make money. So that's why we're stopping every once in a while just to pick some up. But here's all the marigold. And you see we've got a whole field of it here. And we're just going to fill our pockets here. So that we can brew up a whole bunch of these. You use the marigold decoction to raise your alchemy skill because it's so fast. It doesn't sell for very much. We're going to have a whole lot of it, so we certainly can sell it, but it doesn't sell for much. You want to use it to get, and you see we raised up, or we leveled up strength again. And we've got some more perk points available, and that's good because in strength we want to be able to get the mule perk here. Okay. Okay, and we should have at least a couple of hundred here. Okay, so yeah, we're almost there. Because off stream, I'm going to raise my alchemy skill all the way up. So I will spend an hour or so off stream getting my alchemy skill up to 13. So that I have access to all of these things. We're just going to raise it up a little bit, but we're really interested in just gaining money here. Okay, and I think that's good enough. Yeah, 184, that's good enough. So let's look at our skills here. So we have 2 strength. Okay, and mule is 1. We can carry 15 pounds more. There's no reason not to get it. Okay, as far as the others go, Gravedigger can be useful when you're clearing bandit camps and some of the other places you're going to have to go into. But it's probably Stronghold and Clinch Master that are the better options here. However, at 6, we gain Bore and Tight Grip. So you can deplete an opponent's health and stamina by bumping into them at a sprint. This is very, very useful way to start off combat when you're surprising people, especially when you're wearing plate. You can run into them and knock their health and stamina down and then start combat afterward. But then, Tight Grip here. Your stamina regeneration will not slow down in combat, even on the weapon backswing. This is a huge perk to have. And that's why I'm kind of saving up that extra skill point so that I can get both Bore and Tight Grip when I get to level 6. And I think that's it. So now we're heading up to here. So let's head a little bit northeast now. Because we want to never have to buy Savior Schnapps. And you need Marigold, or you need, speaking of Marigold, you need Belladonna to be able to do that. Okay, that should get us 200. Yep. Okay, so we're getting there. We need to go through the stone wall here. Right here. Oh, no, further up. And what we'll do is we'll fast travel back. Here's the stone wall. And now over here on this side, you're going to be looking for a particular thing. Okay. And you're going to find a few other herbs in here. But this purple flowered plant is belladonna. Okay, and that's the one that you're looking for. So you're looking for the purple, and you're going to get it confused with thistle. And there's also these little tiny purple flowers that are around here. So they really make it, you know, somewhat difficult to find it. It's also normally stuck in with nettle. So you have to end up picking the nettle first before you find the belladonna. But we want to pick this field completely clean of belladonna. And again, once you find it, there may be other herbs around it. All of these herbs are useful in one way or another. So if you have to pick them to get them out of the way, go ahead and do that. And again, like I've mentioned previously, always kind of look over your shoulder when you're picking, because you may see more of them in the background that will let you know where to go searching for more of them. Okay, so we'll just spend a few more minutes here. But you do want to eventually clear every belladonna out of this field. Okay, I'm not going to spend the time to do that on stream. I'm going to come back off stream and do it though. Because we just want to have a chest full of Savior Schnapps. The other thing about belladonna is it's a little bit taller most of the time than the wheat that's around us, and it has kind of a bright yellowish on some of the leaves, so it can stand out and kind of highlight itself a little bit, make it easier to find. And again, try and pick in the middle of the group so that you pick up all the ones around it. And what are we at for belladonna? 53. So that's 30, give or take. You need 2 belladonna for every craft, but you get 3 potions in return. Well, we're going to be getting 3 eventually once we get the trial and error perk. Actually, I think we're going to be getting 3 right off the bat, because I don't think this one needs the trial and error perk to get it. Now, in real life, belladonna is actually a mildly poisonous plant. So you wouldn't be doing this in the real world. Oh, come on. There was 1 pixel in there where it worked. There it is. Or we have to pick this. And we level up herbalism. Okay, so what are we at? We're at 78. We just want to get 100 for now. And we should be able to do that without much of a problem. Like I say, you're going to confuse belladonna with thistle and everything else around here. Okay, almost there. And that should be pretty close. Perfect. Alright, now since we're going to make a bunch of savior schnapps, I'm going to save here. And we're going to fast travel back to Rete. Oh, I'm overloaded? Oh, I must have just barely been. It just barely. Hey, we can drop some nettle here. Okay, now we're good. And we can fast travel to the other gate, which is closer. However, sometimes if you fast travel through Rete early on, you will pass nearby people that will trigger quests. And I'm trying not to do that. So I'm just going to make my way over here. Oh, jeez. Come here.
What's going on?
Orders of his lordship.
So every once in a while when you get into the city, you're going to have to you'll randomly be searched.
Do I look like someone you need to search?
Don't get all high and mighty with me.
As you wish.
What the fuck is this? All these things are stolen. You'll be leaving that here. Got it, laddie. Now you can enter.
And they will take any stolen goods. Now, the only thing I think that was on us was the bailiff's mace. That was still stolen. But they're going to take all your stolen goods. You can pay them, get rid of it. You can try and run away. And that sort of stuff. It's just one of those things I forgot about. One of the mechanics in the game that I forgot about. I'm not too worried about whatever we lost there, though. So I think it might not even have been the bailiff's mace. It might even been just a couple of those things, those clothing items that we took. But either way, we're going to have enough money here in a second not to worry about it. Okay. So now alchemy here. So for this, we're going to go into our inventory and we're going to put belladonna and nettle on the shelf. Okay. Now for this, again, these set of steps, this is the master brew here. So I'm going to start with wine. I'm going to put 2 belladonna into the mortar. I'm going to put 1 nettle into the cauldron. And I'm going to pump the bellows 3 times. Now, normally you would pump the bellows and you would turn this sand glass over and let it run out, and then pump the bellows again and turn it over and let it run out and time how long it takes you to do it. But you don't have to use the sand glass. As long as you're timing it correctly, it's going to do the correct brewing. And what we found out is that once we pump the bellows here, we're going to start grinding up the belladonna, and as soon as we get done with it, it'll be time to put it in the cauldron. Okay, and hey, Dave, welcome. Good to see you. So we're going to take the nettle here that we've just picked up, and we're going to put it into the cauldron. And now we're going to hit the Q key here and wait for us to 1, 2, 3. And now we're going to pick up and grind the belladonna while the cauldron is boiling. Immediately add the belladonna to the cauldron. Pick up the file. And immediately complete the potion. Now, we had 3 of those. We used 1, so we had 2 in our inventory. And now you can see that we've got 1 more out of it. Okay, now as our alchemy skill goes up, we're going to be able to brew all 3 of these without a problem. And I think I can actually brew 3 here just by changing a couple of things on how I do this. So I'm going to try it. I'm going to put belladonna and nettle back up here. Going to put wine in the cauldron. Put 2 belladonna into the mortar. 1. 2. Put 1 nettle into the cauldron. And I'm going to pump the bellows 5 times here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I'm going to crush the belladonna. The only difference was we added 2 more pumps on the bellows. While it's still boiling, I'm going to add the belladonna. I'm going to grab the file, and as soon as the boiling stops, I'm going to pour it out. Okay, so now if I exit out and I look, you can see we now have 6. Okay, so we got 3 out of doing that. We had 3 previously. We got 1 from the previous one. We got 3 more for this one. So when you don't have the perk in alchemy for trial and error, all you have to do is pull the bellows 2 more times, and you'll be making the perfect version. So we're just going to do that a few more times here. And we'll have all the savior schnapps that we need. Two belladonna. One nettle. Into the cauldron. Pump the bellows 5 times. Grind up the belladonna. Put it in the cauldron while it's boiling. Grab the file, and we're done. And that should have gotten us 3 more for a total of 9. Sorry, I need to start with the wine. I was like, why can't I add that? Okay, yeah. You can't do anything until you add the base to the cauldron.
I'll have to get something to eat. I'm starting to get hungry.
Like I say, once you get the trial and error perk, then you can lower that back down to 3 times on the bellows and save yourself some time on being able to grab these. And I don't think you have to wait on the file. I'm going to do it while it's boiling. It runs out right at the end anyway, so that's why it works. Okay, so now I've got a new perk point available in Alchemy. Okay, now trial and error doesn't happen until level 5. Okay, so what we have is healing potions will heal you 50% more, but will also intoxicate you. It's not necessarily bad, especially if you have the luck of the drunk perk. Salted and smoked, cured, or cooked food in your inventory will spore 20% more slowly, which is also really good. And then Witcher is where you want to go. Potions will fill you up 30% less, which means you can drink more of them and more often. That's really useful because you can potion stack here, and we're not brewing any of the fancy potions to help us up our skills or up our combat abilities. But when we get to that point, we definitely want to have those available to us. But let me make sure at 5, Venomous Blade is the other one, which is very, very useful, but not something we're going to use. And strength, that's the only other thing left. Yeah. So now I'm up to 12. Okay, so now with what I've got here, I think we have enough. I'm going to go sell off, or let's brew the rest of the of these to get our alchemy skill up to 5. And then we'll sell off. Then we'll brew the marigold decoctions really, really fast and sell those off. For money. Now, what we're also doing is we're going to be, while we're brewing these here, we're brewing the savior schnapps not just because we need them for saves, but they're also one of the most expensive potions in the game. So while we're brewing these, we're leveling up, but we're also getting us gold that we need. Because that's our ultimate thing here that we want to do this episode, is get 3,000 gold to be able to go buy a horse. We don't want to be here all day doing this. But we will do it, say, 3 more times. And if you want to know what these master brews are, you can go to the wiki about these, and for every potion, it's going to give you the herbarium, which is the recipe out of there. It's also going to give you what's called a quick brew, which is one where you can make a bunch of mistakes and only get the partial full amount, and then it's going to list a master brew. And it's going to give you the set of steps that you need to get 3, but it's also going to let you know if you need a perk to get 3. There's also another perk you can get, which will add a 4th potion that you're going to get when you do some of these. And it will let you know about all of that stuff as well. So just experiment with it, and you should be fine. One thing I don't like is I wish it wouldn't reset the inventory after everyone. That seems like a needlessly waste of time, or a needless waste of time. We're going to do one more of these, and then we're going to switch to a different potion. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I want to show you one more potion. And we're going to brew the potion that you're going to use to get money. This is the potion that has the least amount of steps to be able to sell for the most amount of gold. Okay, and this potion is dandelion and marigold. Okay, you start with water. You add 2 dandelion directly to the cauldron. We're going to grind up 1 marigold. You're going to add it to the cauldron. And then you're going to use a new method. You're going to grab a file, and instead of clicking on the cauldron, you're going to click on the still. It's going to want you to pump the bellows a couple of times. And that's going to unlock a new recipe for the Aqua Vitalis. Okay, now that brews us just 1 because we made a mistake while we're doing it. But that, you can see, sells for 70 gold. Okay, so you use the marigold decoction because it's fast to level up. You use the Aqua Vitalis once you've leveled up to auto-craft or auto-brew enough of them to sell those. Because the process is very, very simple. That's the least amount of time for the most amount of gold. Save Your Schnapp sells for more, but it takes longer to brew than Aqua Vitalis does. So let's look at our gold, 2.7k. Let's go out here and see if he's still here. He is.
Heavens, lad. You're looking...
I'm feeling as good as new.
Well, I'm glad to hear it.
This is where we pay off our debt, but we're going to go a couple of things. Who can teach me to read?
I want to learn to read. Who should I go and see?
There's a retired scribe in Ushitz. He could teach you.
And that's going to start the Mightier Than the Sword quest. We're going to do some
What kind
speech
of
here.
What What's life
Like,
How do the... Have you heard...
And we're going to trade. Okay, and now we're going to sell here. And we can sell the Aqua Vitalis. We can sell the Marigold decoctions. And we can sell some Savior Schnapps here. We don't need all of those. Okay, so that's too much. Still too much. Okay, let's see if we can add one more in here. Yes.
Let's talk about the price.
sure, why not? See now? I knew we'd come to an agreement.
And that's exhausted his money, and we are now at 3K Groschen. Okay, and that's where we need to be. So, do I have a torch? You cannot walk around the city at night without a torch. The guards will hound you and throw you in jail.
Never forget your kindness, truly.
And we don't want to fast travel at night. We're going to make our way back to the mill. And we're going to sleep for the night. And when we get up, we're going to attempt to fast travel to Talmberg. Because all of this moving around on foot is too big a pain in the butt. Okay, here we go. So we can unequip our torch here. And just to illustrate it, we can do some more speech in here.
You've an honest trade.
Evil times. And meanwhile,
So you took justice into your...
pull your head out your ass.
I've got some goods here whose own...
All right. Take care.
So you see, his wealth still hasn't come back. All right. So let's go in here. We'll put all of our ingredients away. Everything else should be good. So we're going to sleep and save. When we wake up, we'll see if we can eat out of the pot. If not, we've got some other food around here. Good. So what's our nourishment? 57. Let's pick up a little bit more. because we're going to need it. For this trip. Okay, so now where we're looking is to get back to Talmberg. That's a long way to go. So let's drop a save. We'll click on Talmberg and see if we make it. If we don't, then we'll just restart the save and see if we make it then. Okay, we don't need a pilgrim. I'm gonna ignore it. Okay, so we made it all the way up to Talmberg, and now you can see the Talmberg gate is back open again. But where we really want to go is to head over here. Okay, now we do have a quest that we can do in here. And oh, I forgot to bring the saddle. So where they want you to go for this is into the armories.
Wait a moment.
Okay, now these are the armories here. Okay, you've got to be pretty careful during the day when you're doing this. But we should have unlocked all of these chests at this point. I just want to see if there's anything down in any of these. So we'll head over to the actual armories along the exterior.
What the?
Because A is what we're looking at.
Wait, I
B
need to
gets
talk
us
to
the
you.
keys.
Wait a moment! You're him, right? The boy from Skalitz!
Yes.
You're the young fellow who came here from Skalitz half dead, aren't you?
Yes, that'll be me. Why?
The lady of the castle was asking after you.
Oh,
She
yeah.
wants to talk to you.
Ah, I'll go and see her then. Thank you.
Very well. Don't make her wait. Take care.
Forgot about that. I forgot about at your service. I'm going to save here because I don't know if this is timed or not. I honestly can't remember. Is he outside? He's outside. I believe all of these are empty from our previous stealing spree. But let's see. Too difficult. Okay, so there's one. There's all of them. Okay, so that's going to be able to complete that quest for us. So now we're going to run out of here and we're going to head out of town. And now I'm not worried because I'm not overloaded, so I can jump down. I can jump to get around these rocks if I get stuck. We're going to head west out of town here. I prefer not to get stopped by any guards. We're going to go cross country here and kind of stay off the roads a little bit. I don't know if this is one of those uncrossable hedges. Yep. I'll get back on the road. Some of these hedgerows are really weird. You just can't cross them, and they kind of have like a repulsion field or something around them. They kind of knock you backwards. They're kind of weird. Okay, now we're going to have to haggle, and I should pick... I'm going to pick some nettles when I go up here. Actually, this isn't the right road. I need to be over here. I want to make sure that I get washed up and that I get some nettles to up my charisma a little bit. I want to have at least 30 of these in my inventory. Up. There we go. These uncrossable hedgerows again. I know there's a way out here, I was going to say. I know there is. And we're going to come up out, and once we cross this ridge, we're going to come up on the town of Marojed. Right there. Is that nettles? No. And this is the town that we tried to unlock so that we could have fast traveled directly here. Instead of having to fast travel to Talmberg. But it worked out since we had a quest in Talmberg anyway. Do I have 30 nettles? I do. So now my charisma's back up. We're going to head over to the horse breeder. I always have trouble remembering exactly where it is in this place, but I think it's over here. this is it over here. Yep.
My respects to you.
Actually, I want to be
Good luck to you.
washed up too. Now remember, I've got the lowborn trait. Actually, before I do that,
Hello.
I'd like to buy a horse.
Well now, have you seen our steeds?
doesn't matter if you answer you have or you haven't.
I have. Fine animals.
Nothing but the best here. Is there one in particular you fancy?
And we want Warhorse Genda. Now, you can go through the list of horses on the wiki and see which one you want. Warhorse Genda is is not the fastest. He can't carry the most, and he's not the most courageous, but he is either second or third on all of those lists. Whereas, and stamina. I think he actually has the most stamina out of all of them. So he's a very good mix of all of the skills, as opposed to being really good at one and then really poor at the others. So I tend to focus on him. There's a DLC horse that you can get a little bit later on that is slightly better than Warhorse Genda, but this is the best one to get early on, in my opinion.
Well, the best horse I ever saw. Strong, fast, loyal, a proper warhorse.
But
Well, he ain't the most fragrant. Actually, he reeks. To tell the truth, he stinks diabolically.
Okay, so we're going to haggle here because the horse costs 3.3k. Okay, we need to get him down to at least 30.45, which is what we have right here.
is this enough?
That's not enough.
Okay, so we can't get him down there. We'll try one more time.
All right. And now?
That's not enough.
Okay, so we're going to be a little bit short, it looks like. We need another 100 groschen or so to be able to get him. So we're going to cancel out of this.
Maybe some other? I'll have to think it over.
I don't think I have anything that I can sell him here. I can sell him some savior schnapps.
I'd like to discuss the price.
Aye?
Satisfied?
We're getting there. Just
That's a sum I can live with.
And now let's see if we can haggle him down. And our reputation went up, so...
I'd like to buy a horse.
well now.
I have.
Nothing but the best here. Is there one? Well, the best horse.
But
Well, he ain't.
what do you say to this?
Well now, a little more and we'll shake on it.
Okay, let's see if we can get him down a little bit more. We can afford it now.
Done.
Okay, perfect.
I'll be with you.
So now we have a horse, and we can call our horse by pressing the X key to whistle. And now we can inspect him. And these are the horse stats here. So at any time, you can go up to any other horse and look at their stats and compare them to what you currently have as your horse. Okay, so now what does a horse get us? Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do is save here. And we're going to fast travel back to the Rattay Mill. We're going to have to head up here afterward to complete that quest, but we want to head to the Rattay Mill, and I'm actually hoping that I get intercepted. Nope, I made it. What being on the horse allows you to do is, if you are intercepted, you will be brought back into this view while sitting on your horse. All you have to do is head forward and double tap the gallop key, and you can easily run away from anybody who is trying to attack you. It's almost a guaranteed way to escape from anybody trying to intercept you. They can get in, if they spawn in front of you, they can get in a lucky shot, possibly, as you run by them and dismount you. But it's very rare that that will happen. Okay, so I'm going to go drop off some more nettles here. And I'm going to pick up, go here instead. Pick up the noble saddlebag. And the plain bridle. So now I have a sidekick. I have a horse here. Okay, so what I can do is hover over the noble saddlebag and it says move to horse. And the plain bridle. Move to horse. If I go to my sidekick, I can now equip both of those. Okay, and you can see what happens to the capacity number here when I equip the saddlebag. That is 200 pounds of extra carrying capacity in your horse. Now, don't get confused, because if you get searched by guards, they will take things that are in your horse's saddlebags as well. So you don't want to be riding through the middle of town with all of this sort of stuff. And you can see what happens to the plain bridle. The courage goes from 17 to 19. You have higher bridles that you can get in the game. This is just 2 that we found. Now, the noble saddle is the best saddle in the game. The plain bridle, we'll be able to increase that as we go here. But now we can mount our horse, and we're going to head out of here, and we're going to head west.
Yeah.
No, we're going to head east. But now at the bottom, you can see the stamina bar. See how slowly it is going away, and how fast we are going. So this makes moving around to places where you can't fast travel, like this miller up here, it makes it so much easier to get there. And if you want to sell goods and you run Peshek out of money, you can just load them up in your horse and hop up here to go talk to this miller really, really easily now. And X is to dismount.
Good day to you.
I've done as you asked.
Excellent, Henry. I look forward to the latest news from Talmberg. I hope Captain Robart rubs the commander's nose right in it.
That's going to get us 250 groschen. Okay, now we can sign up for another job.
Have you got any more jobs for me?
Of course, you're just in time. I could do with a horse, and since I'm setting the task, I'll go further. I'd like a strong stallion direct from the Merhoyed stables.
Now, that's no mean feat you're asking.
As well I know, and well I'll pay.
I'll steal that horse for you, but the rewards had better be worth it.
Don't worry, but you'd best not come back with some old nag. Take care now.
Okay, and that is another reason why we wanted to go get our horse, is because that we've now unlocked Merhoyed, and that is going to allow us to fast travel back there to complete this for him. Now we're going to fast travel back. Now, if you fast travel without your horse won't follow you, but all you have to do is whistle, and he will come back. Let's see if
God
Miller
save
Peshek,
you.
he shouldn't have gotten his money back yet, but we'll see.
I've got some goods here who's...
All right. I'll be with you.
Yeah, he doesn't yet. So we're going to wait for that to come back, but there's one more thing that we can do with him. As soon as he finishes his carrying stuff around animation. And that's, we can learn pickpocketing from him.
Would you teach me something about the, milling craft? Like how to get things out of strangers' purses into your own?
Aye. Why not? You're handy enough. No doubt you'll master it. Come behind the mill where we won't be seen. Take care.
And there's also something else we want to get.
I've got some goods here whose owners...
All right. Good luck then.
We want to buy lockpicks from him. Now we don't have that much, and each one of these is pretty expensive. But that's 125.
Let's talk about the price.
Aye.
What about this?
I'd almost shake...
You're flaying me here.
Come now.
Okay, not going to have much of a choice here.
See now. I knew...
Okay, now we've started the pickpocketing quest, so he's going to follow out, and this turns into a let's follow the NPC section of the game. How many lockpicks do we have? Okay, good. And he'll stop over here pretty quick.
I'll stand here and pretend I don't know you're there. You try sneaking up behind me without me seeing you and take something from my purse. First, you have to rummage in the purse. The longer you do it, the better chance you have of finding something valuable, but also of getting caught in the act. Once you've found something you want, you've got to pull it out, carefully, but fast enough so I don't notice. Try stealing my dagger. It's there, mixed up with other things.
Okay, and this is the pickpocketing mechanic. Now, pickpocketing goes in 2 stages. There's the preparation stage, which is what you're going to see at the start, which is kind of the icon that's in the middle. And then there's the actual thieving stage. So the preparation stage, there's a minimum amount of time that you have to prep for the stealing. And that's indicated by where that yellow bar is that is being pointed to, the yellow arrow around the outside of the icon. Once you go past that, then you are into the I'm going to steal something stage, and the timer in the middle will start counting upward. That's how much time you're going to have in the second phase to rummage around inside of their purse. Now, you can see the color of it's green. The higher that number starts to go, the more it will turn to yellow, and then to orange, and then to red. And that means that you can get caught during this preparation phase. So, when it's a green color, that means you're going to have the most chance to be able to get whatever you want out of the inventory in the second phase. If it turns red, there is still a chance that they're going to find you when you try and steal it. Okay, so you want to try and maximize the time you have, but you also want to try and minimize the risk. This is the second stage. So inside of here, you have a gold outlined search location. That's the one that says the place where you're stealing. You can move that using the arrow keys. You can move that around the dial here. Okay, and there are 12 different spots inside of everybody's inventory. Now, not all 12 are going to have something in it. Only the ones that are marked with the question mark have something behind it. What you have to do is move the icon over on top of a question mark, hit your E key. That will reveal what's underneath it. If you want to steal it, you hit E again. That will highlight it. And then you have to move your icon all the way back up to the top to the door icon and hit E there to steal it. And you have to do all of that in time before the timer runs out. Because if the timer runs out and you haven't clicked the door icon, you're going to get caught. Now, it's a complicated thing. It takes a while to get used to. And it's another one of those gripe points that people have. It's kind of iffy. The other thing I didn't mention is down on the right-hand corner, you can see that the time bar is going to start ticking down as you go. The more valuable an item is, the more valuable or the more time you're going to lose. Or I guess the weight, sorry, not value. The more weighty an item is, the more time you're going to lose trying to steal it. So even if you click the door icon before the gold or before your total time runs out, you may still get caught because it's going to take more time to get a bulky item out of their inventory. So I always recommend, if you're going to do this, to save beforehand. Now, you don't have to save with Miller Peshek here. He's going to never get caught, but we'll illustrate this. So you want to be behind somebody, and then once you get you're in stealth, you can hold E to pickpocket. And when you pickpocket, you can see the timer going up. So now I'm going to have 6 seconds.
I'll stand here and pretend I don't know you're there. You try sneaking up behind me without me seeing you and take something from my purse. First, you have to rummage. Once you've found some, try stealing my dagger. That's the way. I hardly noticed you were there. I think you're ready to try it out for real. Best practice on drunks and sleeping folk, so you don't end up in jail before you even get started.
Thanks, Peshek.
You're welcome. But I'll be having that dagger back now.
Okay, so now here we can do pickpocketing again.
I'd like to try
As you wish. I'll stand here. First, once you've found something you want, try stealing my dagger. Goodbye.
Oops.
That's the way. I hardly best practice on.
Thanks, Peshek.
You're welcome.
Okay, so Peshek is a way that if you want to do it this way, you can level up your lockpicking for free and without any chance of getting caught by doing it here. Now, what I normally do is just get myself up to level 2. That way I can unlock a perk here.
I'd like to try pickpocketing.
As you wish. I'll stand first. Once you've found, try stealing. Good luck then.
And I think it takes 5 times. And for
That's
him,
the
it's
way.
really easy because
I
he's only got
hardly
one
noticed
thing
you
in
were
his
there.
inventory.
Best practice on.
Thanks,
For
Peshek.
everybody else, where you're
You're
trying to
welcome.
search items,
But I'll.
it can be a lot more difficult to do this.
I'd like to try.
As you. I'll first. Once you've found, try stealing my. Good luck.
Because
then.
every time you exit out of the pickpocketing of somebody, it resets the locations in their inventory of where those things are. Now, see, he's going to have a chance of finding me there. So I'm going to get out of it and I'm going to reset it so I can get a green bar. And see, I'm not going to make it.
Caught you. If this was for real.
See,
I'd be
it
yelling
doesn't
for a
matter
car.
how hard or how
Right again.
fast you click the button, the thing only moves around so fast. And that's what you're
the
trying
way.
to do,
I hardly noticed you were there. Best practice.
Thanks, Peshek.
You're welcome.
is to level this up so that
I'd
you can
like
get
to
a
try
perk
pickpocketing again.
As you. First, once you try stealing. Goodbye.
that makes that glass move faster. And I'm not going to be able to do it here either. Ooh, close.
I'll stand here and pretend I don't know you. Once you try. That's the best.
Thanks, Peshek.
You're welcome.
Okay, so it looks like we're going to do one more. I think
I'd
this will
like to
finish
try-
it.
As you wish. I'll stand first. Yeah. Once you've found. Try stealing. I'll see you later.
That one was real easy. There's
That's the way.
pickpocketing.
I hardly best.
Thanks, Peshek.
You're welcome.
Okay, so now I can go to pickpocketing. And I can look at the skills. Now, the item expert here reveals the stats for half of the items in a pickpocketing victim's purse. That means there are half of the items that are in there that you won't have to click on to reveal what they are. It would just pop out and show you. Or I guess that's not. It's the worth and the weight it gets shown for, so you can better determine whether or not when you want to look at an item, or you can know it doesn't weigh enough or isn't valuable enough, and you can skip it and move on to something else. Pocket Sight reveals one of the items in a pickpocketing victim's inventory straight off the bat. Item Expert 2 reveals all of the stats for all of the items, and Pickpocket Site 2 reveals 3 of the items in a pickpocketing victim's inventory, so you know exactly where to go. Now, hidden pockets is nice because when you're arrested and searched, you'll keep some of the stolen items in your inventory. It's about a third. But what you're looking for here is easy way out. The movement of the cursor in a pickpocketing victim's inventory will be twice as fast. That's that yellow icon that you move around. You'll be able to move it twice as fast. And this is a huge help in being able to pickpocket. It's available at level 4, and we're at level 2, so you need to level it up a little bit. You can do that with Peshek. It will take you about 12 more pickpocketing attempts, so it's something I'm going to do off stream so that I can level it up here with him without boring y'all to death. But in the meantime, we have secret pockets and comrades. So secret pockets is when looting corpses, you'll find more money. It's okay. However, comrade increases your chance of pickpocketing someone with the same charisma level as you. Some such people are usually dressed similarly to you. But what that also means is that because we're getting a bonus to our charisma from carrying nettles around because of that perk, we now have a higher amount of people that we can get this bonus, this increased pickpocketing chance with. So comrade's a very good skill, especially when you pair it with the flower power perk, where we're getting a +2 bonus to our charisma. Okay. So now that we've also got Miller Peshek here, we can explore training. Now, the Millers are going to offer you training, and this is a way to increase your skills. So, for instance, lockpicking.
I hear you're able to open locks without a key. Will you teach me how?
Certainly.
So, the different types here, slightly advanced, requires level 5.
I'm interested in more advanced techniques.
All right, but it'll cost you.
And you see, it's going to cost you. So this is going to cost us 18 or 180 groschen. We can haggle for it as well to increase our pickpocketing skill. Now, how these work is that you can do them one time, and you can use them to level up your skill in between a certain level. So from level 5,
maybe another time,
we'll be able to level up our skill between 5 and 10. Once we get to the next level, we can level it up from 10 to 20, but we have to be at that minimum level for the training to kick in. So it's a way to get a free level out of it, so to speak.
Take care.
And right now our lockpicking is what? 7. Okay, we have enough.
I hear you're able to open.
Certainly.
I'm interested in more.
All right.
Isn't that quite a lot? Are we agreed?
Well, now. Agreed. Now listen up.
Okay. Now the other thing about what that did is it leveled us up. It gets you a certain amount of XP to get you not to the same percentage as where you were. You saw level 7, we were all the way up here. This gets you enough to get you up to halfway through the next level. So the optimum time to use that is when we are like right now at 8. And we've just gotten to or we've gotten just above halfway on level 8. That will get us to level 9.5. If you're below halfway, it gets you to the start of the next level. Okay, so to maximize it, you want to be kind of in the second half to get you back to halfway to the point right before you get to the next breakpoint level, which is at level 10. At that point, you can no longer use that training, so you want to make sure you get it done before you level up to that point, and then you're kind of maximizing the use you get out of that, or the amount you get out of that groschen. Okay, so for now, let's take a look at... Oh, he also has work that he can give us.
Would you happen to have any...
Of course I would.
Like last time?
Properly done. And who else to set the task to than you? The ringleader, so to speak. The thing is, one of the rich townsmen left his ring behind the last time he went to the baths for some wenching. Too drunk to see it, no doubt. And now he wants it back, and the baths deny all knowledge.
Why not turn to the bailiff?
Why not? Because he doesn't want anyone to know about his bathhouse visits. And the girls in the baths are wary of selling the ring in case the bailiff does start looking for it after all. So we'll make life easier for them. What do you say?
Consider it done. Provided I get something out of it.
Don't worry. You won't be left short. The ring's hidden in the chest in the bathhouse madam's chambers. Come right back with it once you have it. Goodbye.
Okay, so we need to go to the bathhouse. The day is almost over, though, and that's going to be a benefit for us because the bathhouse here, and I'm just looking at what other activities we have out here. So we didn't find everything in here. Okay, so thick as thieves. You can see there it is. There's where the bathhouse is. We can do a few things in there. One, if we wait for them to go to sleep, we can level up our pickpocketing a bit by pickpocketing them. And you can pickpocket the key to the chest. And that way you don't have to lockpick it. You can also go in there and not do that. You can pickpocket other things than the key, and you can still lockpick the chests at night when people aren't necessarily around looking at you all the time. So where are we with nourishment? So we're almost out. Okay. And I'm not going to call my horse just to run right over here to the bathhouse. You certainly could, though. And how many savior schnapps do we have? We got 2 left, which is plenty. We're going to be brewing many, many more of these off stream. Okay, now her chest, I believe, is upstairs. And we can get some speech XP here.
What's life? Have you heard?
Good luck then. What do you want?
What's... How's it... Have you heard?
May the Lord watch over you.
And I can't remember if it's in this one or it's over here. It might be in this one. Yeah, I think it's actually in here. So let's drop a save here. And I think this is the chest over here that we want. Nope, but there's some groschen in it. Almost broke that one.
By all that's holy! Watch out! There's a thief
Yep.
here!
Okay,
I
so
see a thief! Guard!
we got scene here.
Guard! Come here quick!
But we're gonna run before the catch pole shows up. So what you have now is that in the upper left-hand corner, okay, you have a fine. Okay, that's in the upper left-hand corner or next to the compass up there. And you can see that we have a fine here for Rattay. I don't think that there's a way to know how much the fine is. I don't think there is. But next time you show up to Rattay with the soldiers, you're going to get a fine. Now, we obviously don't want to have any stolen goods on us when we do that, and we could reload this save and do it, and do it without those things. Actually, you know what? I can
I'll see you later.
illustrate that, because there's... We'll do this right before we end here, I guess. It does not matter... how well you can lockpick in here. She is always going to catch you when you're doing this, I believe. Okay, but I'm gonna move over here and move out of here real quick. And just make sure nobody else is wandering around causing problems. Hey, Abdi, welcome. You caught just the tail end of the stream here, but thank you for being here. I appreciate it. So I want to make sure no one else is going to come in here. Okay, yeah, so there's nobody else here. Whoops. She woke up just randomly.
What's... It came from over here.
Unexpected. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they do as well, Abdi. What I'm going to try and do, though, is try and knock her out. That's what I'm going to try and do. Let's see if I can get her to go back to sleep. She's not in her bed. Where did she go? You move down here? No. I don't know where she went. Oh, there she is. Okay, and then you can get away scot-free. When you have people that are sitting right next to the chest that you're trying to open up, that lockpicking, even when it's successful, they can hear it, and it will wake them up. So if you're trying to get a chest that's right next to one of them, then it's best if you can knock them out first. Now with them, it's not that big a deal because they don't have a high strength stat. I might as well lockpick this door while I'm here. Get some more free lockpicking. But on other people like guards and things like that, you need to have a higher strength stat than they do, and that can be a little bit iffy with some of them. Now there are perks that help you overcome some of that, but just leveling up strength will get you to a point where you're able to do it most of the time. So now we can go talk to Miller Peshek.
I'm glad to see you.
I have that ring for you.
Excellent. They'll be hopping mad at the baths once they find out. Here's your reward, and don't turn it all into drink.
And Abdi, that's very true. If you have the stealth kill perk already unlocked as part of stealth, then yes, you can kill them if you would like. I tend not to do that very often, but you certainly can.
You? Always. A friend of mine asked me to help him get back some disputed land from his neighbor.
And you've become an officer of the law, is that it?
A likely turn of events. No, I'm pleased to say this is good old-fashioned stealing. There's a deed of sale for that land, not quite in his favor. So it would be a fine thing if it went missing.
Very well. Where do I need to liberate it from?
From the bailiff himself. Ha! You should see the face you're pulling. I never said it would be easy. The deed is supposed to be at the rat house somewhere. On the table, among the other parchments. You'll need to sneak in and then find it.
I'll manage somehow.
That I don't doubt. And you needn't doubt your reward.
Okay, now this one is also one that is best done in the evening. So I'm going to go put all of my stolen goods away, because I don't want them confiscated. Okay, so let's actually move our boots back. And we're going to put on the silent shoes. Okay, so we got 2 savior schnapps left, more than enough. Let's put on the silent shoes. We're going to put on the torch. Okay, come on, Teresa, move out of the way. And we should be able to fast travel up here, but I don't want to take the chance. Like I say, this one is best done at night as well, when everybody's asleep except for the guards. And I actually shouldn't have gone up this way. Okay, no, we're alright. Yeah, this is the right side. I thought the rat house for a second was at the opposite end, but it's not, it's here. Yeah, it's a lot of fun, Abdi. I've had a good time with it so far. And it's like Skyrim in that there are parts of it that are grindy and that sort of stuff, especially if you're looking to max out your skills early on, like I am, but I'm trying not to subject all of y'all to it. Try and do some of the more fun stuff on stream, but there's going to always be a little bit of grind.
Hey, halt right there. Show me what you have on you.
What?
For security.
I'm carrying an important... As you wish.
This is stolen, damn it. And this too. Now
What did I have on me that was stolen? I don't think I had anything. Okay, so we're looking at so it's here.
What do you want here?
In these buildings, and I think it's upstairs. I don't know if I'll be able to pick this.
What's that? What's going on there? Don't move a finger.
Okay. So somebody saw me, and that's because I forgot to put my torch off. Oh, am I all the way back here with them? Oh, okay. Well, that's going to end the that's going to end the stream. That's the previous Thick as Thieves quest from Peshek, not this one. So I'll finish this one back up, and then I'll get us ready to do the second one at the start of next live stream. I'm going to spend some time off stream leveling up my skills. I'm going to brew a whole bunch more potions to get my alchemy up, so that we can have some more gold. And I'm going to spend some time walking around at night and pickpocketing people so I get my pickpocketing skill up as well. So yeah, that was just I forgot to save before I went in there, which was dumb, and I forgot to take my torch off, which again was dumb. So, but I'll get us back to that point off stream. So as always, I do want to thank you all for being here. I love the interactions that I have with all of you in the comments, and I want to say thank you all again for being here, because as I always say, without your support, none of this would be possible. This is Commander Jorval saying until next time, fare thee well.